Hi everyone. We have Sumit here. He's the co-founder and CEO of CoinDCX, one of the India's leading exchanges out there. Yeah, Sumit, please go ahead and yeah, stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Anupam. Thanks for having me here. Uh, so, uh, so I was listening to the previous session by Om, and it was primarily on the transformation from 2008 to 2020, right? And the journey has been very exciting. So, what I'll be talking about today is about crypto 2020 and beyond. And one of the topic that was also discussed in the previous session was, and this is a very common term that is about mass adoption on crypto, right, in India. So that is something that I'll be focusing most of my talk on, right? When we talk about mass adoption, right? So let's first understand what that means. So I would say it's a phase where so when we talk about mass adoption of cryptocurrencies, right? It's a phase where crypto is used and accepted by common people, at a large scale without even realizing that they are using it, and it's a considered a very normal, very normal transactions, right? And the mass adoption of crypto, the definition varies from different use cases to different use cases. For example, when we talk about mass adoption of crypto as a store of value, that is different than mass adoption of crypto as a payment mode, right? Or as smart contract implementation in the traditional financial services industry. So that is a very relative term, and you can never say that when we have achieved the mass adoption, right? But when we talk about mass adoption of crypto in India, what we'll do is we'll see what has happened in the past, right? Specifically, I'll highlight some of the instances, some of the situations, some of our stories, and then what is going on in the industry in the times to come, right? So if we talk about mass adoption of crypto in India, right, the road to mainstream mass adoption in India specifically has not been an easy one, right? Partly because of the legal status of crypto in India, that there have been a lot of confusions around it, right? And the legal status was challenged by a lot of regulatory bodies over the past few years, right? To highlight you few instances, in April 2018, RBI announced a circular which prohibited crypto exchanges from dealing with banks, right? And CoinDCX started 3 days after that, right? And I clearly remember a lot of my friends who were very keen to work in the crypto industry. They have backed out. They have dropped out of the crypto industry as a whole, right? And we have seen the times when it was very challenging to buy and sell crypto in India, right? And in fact, after that, after the RBI banking ban, a lot of big startup successful exchanges like Zeppay, CoinX, they had to face tough times, and then they eventually shut down because of the challenges that the bridge. So essentially, what was happening was fiat economy and crypto economy. The bridge was the banking channels. That bridge was broken, right? And because of that, a lot of startups got affected by it. So the past was, especially the last couple of years, has been very tough for crypto businesses, exchanges in particular. On the other hand, we can also see that India has a great potential to become one of the leading crypto hubs of the world, right? And it's very common, and everyone would agree with that, is that India has extremely large population of 1.3 people, 1.3 billion people, very high internet and mobile penetration rate. Especially, what is very exciting is the India is a country which has a very highly skilled pool of IT developers and engineers, right? And which are technology savvy. So when these people and that is one of the reason why a lot of Indians are having very good belief in crypto as a technology, right? And they are also very actively, the community is already very strong. So yeah, I mean, we can see that crypto. So in this path, right, where we are coming from challenging times to a stage where we would like to see ourselves, is where India, when we'll see mass adoption of crypto in India, right? So we are somewhere in this journey, right? And the recent ruling by Supreme Court is one of the breakthrough moment in this journey. On 4th of March 2020, all of you know that the lifting of the ban by Supreme Court, right, that happened, and that opened up a lot of possibilities for the entire industry. And we can see that this industry, crypto industry, is getting built up now, right? And we will see a lot of investments coming into the industry now, right? Lot of economic growth, in the long term financial inclusion will happen. And overall what is happening is the market is getting more and more matured over time, right? So we can say that the industry is being built right now in India specifically, right? And this is what we will see happening in 2020 and the times after that. So the industry is being built, and when a new technology comes in, right, it also brings a complete ecosystem along with it, right? And a lot of entrepreneurs will join the ecosystem. We will see a lot of new age entrepreneurs, a lot of startups, new businesses, new innovations, a lot of new products, and a lot of services that will be built on top of blockchain, right? And we will see a lot of new ways to solve existing traditional problems that the financial services industry has right now, right? So that is going to be the next phase where we will see thousands of businesses in the crypto industry. And from now on, with the recent Supreme Court hearing, India is going to skyrocket its growth from this point. So that is what is happening. Of course, this is the very beginning, right? And we are in the right direction, right? And just to give you some examples to the people here who are listening, is so in the last couple of months after the Supreme Court judgment, CoinDCX has seen a phenomenal growth in terms of users coming in and joining the exchange, right? Just to give you a ballpark figure, in the last couple of months, we have seen roughly 8 to 10 folds in terms of increase in signups. And all of these people are more or less investors who want to invest some of their capital in crypto. Now that is a very good signal that people are now looking at crypto assets as an alternate source of alternate investment. So this is happening, and we have also seen record high volumes traded on the platform, even with the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. And we are also coming up with a lot of products on our fiat to crypto channel, which will make the whole process of buying or selling crypto very easy and seamless, right? In fact, when the decision was passed on the very same day, we have also implemented bank-based deposits and withdrawals. So you could now deposit money directly to CoinDCX bank account and buy Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies very seamlessly, right? So this is what is happening. And as exchange, at CoinDCX, we are actively working on doing our bit and how we can drive mass adoption. Of course, this is not a short-term thing. We have to work in the long term, right? And there's a long way to go when we talk about crypto adoption in India, right? If we analyze this in detail, there are two parts to it, right? One is on the government side, right? The regulation side. The second is on the industry, like people like you, me, investors, and the overall industry as a whole, right? And both these two bodies have to, are there to play a critical role in terms of reaching a stage of mass adoption. From the government side, what we need from the government is more clarity around cryptocurrency. Now that is needed to reach mainstream adoption, right? A lot of people in India still don't understand whether it is legal to buy and sell crypto in India. I mean, they still have their own share of doubts and concerns. They are interested, they want to invest in crypto, but again, there are a lot of confusions around it. So that is one part where we would expect the government to come up with smart regulations. Of course, it will also take us time, and the government is doing their own diligence in terms of coming up with regulations, which is an alignment of the country's needs and the dynamics. So that is one thing that is happening. Industry leaders are also, and the companies are also in talks with the government. For example, CoinDCX is also actively, having dialogues with the government bodies and explaining them how we as an exchange want to cooperate with the government, and see how we can make them more comfortable so that the crypto as an industry can be regulated in India. So that is one part of it. That is the government side of it, right? The second part where we talk about the community as a whole, right? Where we can already see that the investors are now very open about investing in crypto businesses in India. We recently raised our Series A round of funding, which is led by Polychain Capital, one of the biggest well-known crypto investors globally. Then Bain Capital, again, mainstream VCs are also interested to take part in the success of crypto business in a country like India, which they were not very actively exploring, a few years back. So we can see that a lot of investor interest is there in India in terms of investing in crypto businesses. So this is the good time also to start a crypto business in a country like India. because the market was choked from last couple of years. Because of the bridge which is essentially connects between fiat and crypto, the banking channels were not very seamless, right? People had to use peer-to-peer gateways to buy and sell bitcoins or other crypto assets. So that was very difficult. That made the overall market inefficient. But now, because of the banking channels opening up, the whole process of getting into crypto is now much easier, right? So of course investor interest is there, and then as a community we also have a responsibility of educating people about what crypto is, right? So that essentially is one big role where all of us have to play a role and contribute in terms of mass adoption on in crypto. And we can only achieve that stage, right, when people have so it essentially comes after awareness phase, right? When we look at this stage, now awareness is there. Now it is aware. Now crypto is right now known to many people. They understand what crypto is, but they are not they don't have a full end-to-end understanding. I mean, very few people have it, but when you talk about mass audience, they still lack clarity on the overall crypto industry per se, right? So that is one big problem, and I think this needs to be solved when we talk about mass adoption of crypto in India. Especially in country like India, I see a lot of gap in terms of education, right? Education of crypto in India. Like a lot of people, they understand Bitcoin as, they invest like X rupees and then it will increase over time. That's not it, right? There are a lot of things associated. And when we talk about adoption, we have to go in a step-by-step manner. You can't jump it. And I think education is one big step in the direction of mass adoption. Now, what has happened is as a company, what we are also doing at CoinDCX is we have pledged roughly 10 crores, that is $1.3 million, to be deployed over the next few years, where we are going to use this money in terms of making people more aware about crypto in India, right? So there is an initiative that we are trying out, which is called Try Crypto. I'll give you also the context behind it. So the reason why we have come up with Try Crypto initiative is, so it is primarily aimed at promoting awareness and adoption of crypto in India, right? And what has happened in 2017 and before that, when the Bitcoin price was going up, a lot of people just invested without understanding, what Bitcoin is, right? And because they didn't have a clear understanding of the overall industry, they did not understand how to invest and why they're investing. They did not understand the fundamentals behind it, and essentially that was done. So there were also a lot of bad actors during that time. So we don't want all of that to happen. The industry can grow. We can have a very rock solid foundation when it is done in a very clear and legitimate way. For that, we are also obviously doing our bit, but we also expect a lot of people to tell other people on how to get onboarded into the crypto. A lot of people have lost money in the last 3 years back, when they invested in a lot of projects which are not even have a real use case. So that should not happen. If that happens, then the industry will again take a back step. What we need to do is we need to educate people, explain them that what crypto is, what blockchain is, what Bitcoin is, why they should invest, because a lot of people don't even understand the underlying value behind Bitcoin, and they invest blindly, which should not happen, right? So in this Try Crypto initiative, we feel the need to educate public, as they are also now. There are a lot of people who are sitting on the boundary. They want to invest, but they don't know where to invest and how to invest. They don't understand. They don't even understand how to send one Bitcoin from one address to another. So there are a lot of gaps, right? So we need to fill that. And for that, what we are telling them is, before you invest, so we want to help them navigate, navigate easily in this crypto, entry journey. So when people enter into crypto, they should have the right set of tools, knowledge, in place before they invest a lot of their capital. So for that, we are saying that, okay, this is the platform that we have built. Why don't you just come and try with a smaller amount, see, understand about it. Obviously there are a lot of things that needs to be done, apart from the investment. So we are building a platform which is called DCX Learn, which will help any normal person to get understanding of crypto. That will come in various languages. So all of those initiatives we are working on. The overall objective behind this initiative is, right now it is estimated that roughly 4 to 5 million people are there in India who are exposed to crypto, and we want to take it to 50 million. So we want to onboard 50 million Indians into crypto over the next few years, right? And this is very much possible, if we have the right, if we approach in the right direction, right? So there are a lot of events you'll be doing, a lot of education initiatives that we have taken. We'll be doing seminars. We have taken a lot of seminars in colleges as well, step by step, educating people about what crypto is and how they can enter into crypto, how they can invest. We have a lot of plans in terms of awareness campaigns. So all of that is in our plans, and that is why we have also taken this approach of like by this Try Crypto initiative, right? In terms of which is one step in terms of mass adoption. Obviously, mass adoption will happen gradually. You can't just jump directly to that stage. But overall, just to highlight my point, I think education is going to be one big step in terms of reaching the mass adoption phase. Now, also in the last couple of years, we have seen lots of ups and downs. We launched, as I mentioned, we launched CoinDCX after the RBI passed this banking ban, right? So the times were very tough for us, but we have also, seen the journey where exchanges had a tough time, and we survived through that, and also build a lot of innovative products in that journey in that period of 2 years. We have built the fastest and the simplest gateway to buy and sell crypto in India, right, using our D6 Insta platform. So that is what we have done. We have introduced margin futures. So a lot of those things we have done, and I think the last couple of years were challenging, but the times 2020 and 2021 is going to be very exciting for the overall crypto industry in India. And we are confident that in India we will see a lot of people entering into the space who were sitting on the boundary lines, who were not very active in the last couple of years. And there have been a lot of encouraging signs recently. For example, the Supreme Court overturn, trading volumes have increased in the exchanges, and then lot of people, lot of new companies are also coming up in terms of crypto space in India. Payment gateways and banks are also open to partnering with exchanges. A lot of investment coming in India in terms of and I can tell you, a lot of investors are now looking very actively looking to invest in crypto businesses, right? So this is a good time for any crypto entrepreneur also to start start doing something in the crypto space in India. Right, and when we talk about mass adoption, right, it will also happen when we build a lot of great products and services, right, which are an experience, right, experience which people totally enjoy, right, which is much better than what they have currently, right? So I think, yeah, we are overall, we are going in the right direction. And if we all, remain committed remain committed to making a contribution in the overall industry, right, solve problems that the traditional financial industry is not able to solve, build the right set of products and tools and experiences, beautiful experiences where people can try crypto without even realizing it. And the experience has to be super smooth, right? I think the mainstream crypto adoption will be a reality sooner than we think. So yeah, I mean, it is all a contribution from all of us, right? From a lot of crypto businesses, entrepreneurs, and the community as a whole. And we together will drive crypto adoption in 2020 and the times to come.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Sumit. That was incredible, man. Thanks a lot. There are some questions, if you don't mind, a couple of
Sure,
questions. That's okay.
sure, sure.
Um, so even though we have gotten clarity on from the Supreme Court, there is no circular issued by the RBI. Do you have any insights on that at all?
Yeah, so yeah, you are right. So there is no circular issued by RBI to the banks directly. But banks right now are open to talking to exchanges, which was not the case before the judgment, right? And
Right.
if you look at the overall scenario, I think not just banks but all the crypto payment companies are also very keen, and they have seen the phase of 2017, right? When there was no such ban, and the industry was growing at a much rapid pace, right?
Right.
It's because things have slowed down because of the COVID-19. But as a company, we I cannot share much details, but what we are also doing is we are also actively talking with a lot of industry bodies and also talking to banks, very in a very formal way, so that they openly support exchange businesses, right? And from the RBI also, we are also in talks with RBI. Right, not directly, but also we are also coordinating with IMAI and other bodies in terms of having very active dialogues with the banks and RBI, so that the whole bridge of banking channels is very seamless.
Right. Yeah, thanks. I have a difficult question for you here now. This Sham asks, why do all Indian exchanges are selling crypto in premium price? Why not as international price like Binance?
It's not a very difficult question. Again, see what really happens is these prices are not controlled by us, to be honest, right? And this is something that we cannot control. The reason why Indian exchanges are higher prices because they're of the limited supply, right? In India, we don't see a lot of mining happening. There are very few people who are selling crypto in India, right? But the demand is much higher. As I mentioned during my talk as well, there are a lot of people who want to buy crypto, but there are very limited sellers, right? And that is why there is premium, right? It's, I mean, of course, it's a, we have seen premium going up to 20%, 30%, in other countries as well,
Do
right?
you
So it's a
think that
function of time.
happen again? Do you think that could happen in India again? That kind of premium?
I don't see that because the industry is getting more matured over time, right? And the market are also getting bigger. When the market is getting more, bigger and more liquid, the premium is in control. Of course, it can, also spike up at times. If there is a huge surge in demand, right? But essentially, exchanges try to control it. But essentially, it's in the hands of people. For example, if someone, suddenly comes and some Indian wants to sell 1 lakh bitcoins, then the premium will see a lot of premium getting dropped, right? So it's a function of there is very limited supply, but the demand is always higher. And the premium also is a function of the Bitcoin price. If you have seen, if the Bitcoin price suddenly drops, right, the premium goes up. It's a very clear sign, right? Because everyone wants to buy.
Yeah,
When the Bitcoin price goes up, like what happened in the last few days, the premium also dropped,
right,
right?
right.
And it varies like from 2% to 5% depending upon the demand and supply in the market. But I
Okay.
think over the time, if you talk about couple of years from now or 1 or 2 years from now, we will see premium dropping further. But premium is always there, I think with the time to come, I think it will drop down.
Right. Um, Anil Kumar Yadav asks, how much employment crypto industry could generate in India in the coming years? Like you said, start crypto-related startups, and the government and the regulations will become friendly over the years. Do you think that happening in the next 4 5 years from your perspective?
Yeah, I see that happening much before that, right?
Okay.
I for 4 or 5 years is a long time. So example, as the as we move forward, right? I think that the adoption of technology is faster than what it used to be earlier,
Yeah.
right? We will see blockchain adoption and crypto adoption happening much sooner than we expect. Probably less than 5 years for sure. But yeah, as asked in the question, we will see. So the way we see it, as India is going, crypto is going to play a major role, in terms of India achieving its $5 trillion dream. The reason why we are saying that is because India is also very bullish in terms of making the Indian economy digital. Right, the government is also pushing for that. A lot of efforts have been done in that direction, and the crypto and blockchain industry makes the whole process more efficient. Right, we will see a lot of new businesses, and right now India has like a lot of multi-million-dollar businesses in crypto. But we will see in the next, not even like 5 years, but in the next 2 to 3 years, we will see a lot of billion-dollar businesses coming from India alone. Lot of billion-dollar businesses, right? There are a lot of entrepreneurs in India who are very smart, but they have not entered into crypto because of the regulations. They are not very clear of the regulations, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's a bit risky in terms of choosing crypto as their career option, right? But as we see, as we get more clarity in that direction, we will see hundreds and thousands of entrepreneurs aiming to build billion-dollar companies in leveraging crypto and blockchain technologies, right? So I think that is going to happen, and when that happens, we will see again lakhs of new jobs being created. And
Yes.
I strongly feel it is going to be one very hot industry, specifically in a country like India in the next couple of years.
Yeah. We have one more question on Telegram asking, if you were to talk about the other fields to explore in crypto apart from exchanges and the startups that we see right now, where should be someone look at? Like, where should someone start? Like an engineer just out of the college or want to leave the job, where do they start?
So they should essentially first understand everything about the industry. So I remember in 2017, right? I used to spend like 6 months, the whole of nights, like studying about crypto, like for 6 hours continuously, watching YouTube videos, reading white papers. So I've been through that phase, and there is no shortcut to it. So I think all the people who want to jump into this industry, they should first feel the industry. This is one industry which has taught a lot to everyone who is a part of it, right? So if they can go through this, if they can read about the fundamentals and why it existed in the first place, right, that would be a good starting point. And then when they go deeper, they will essentially see, not even hundreds, thousands of problems that are still unsolved, right? And then they pick the best which is close to their heart. I think that would be the right way, rather than just picking any problem and solving that.
Yeah.
Once they feel the problem, I think then they will be the right people, right person to solve that problem. And if they are solving it the right way, there is no dearth of capital. You'll see a lot of investors, a lot of businesses, even exchanges who are willing to partner with you, right, in the journey. Whether it is capital or resources or anything. So they will always have access to whatever they need in terms of making their dream come true. But yeah, I mean, it's a process that they need to go through.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You put it in the right way. So, just one last question. I've been asking all the speakers, and this you are the right guy to ask this question. The
Yeah.
halving in upon us. Do you think it's priced in?
See, I generally don't comment on the pricing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because see, it's very difficult to comment in the short term, right?
yeah,
And there are other factors also at play here in pricing. So, not the right person. I don't have the right knowledge and all the tools available to comment on the pricing in the short term. But
yeah.
definitely, I'm personally very very bullish on Bitcoin. In the long term, right? Because the fundamentals are getting stronger over time, right? So it's clearly, like, in the long term, very bullish about it. In the short term, having, I think, it's essentially, there are other dynamics also that takes part in terms of pricing, so cannot really comment on that.
Absolutely, man. No worries. Thank you so much. It's just whoever comes new to crypto wants to know about the price, right? Because that's what they have not done their research properly. So they want to know how high is gonna go, halving is coming, the buzz is going around. So that's what they keep talking about. But I totally understand your perspective as well, 100%. Anyway, Sumit, thank you so much for taking our time today and like speaking with us. Like community appreciates a lot, and I do appreciate you taking our time.
Thank you, Anupam. It was
I'll
great.
see us backstage. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.